Здравейте, Bulgaria. My name is James, and welcome to another Eurovision reaction video with me. And today, I'm going to do a review of the Bulgarian entry for the Eurovision Song Contest 2021, which will take place this year at Rotterdam, the Netherlands. So, let's get to it and start reviewing. Returning from the class of 2020, once more is Victoria Georgieva, or otherwise known as simply Victoria. She was supposed to perform Tears Are Getting Sober as her entry for Bulgaria last year, but unfortunately she was not able to perform her song due to the coronavirus pandemic shutting down the contest last year. She now returns following her internal reselection by the Bulgarian broadcaster BRT, and following a very lengthy internal song selection process which your fans have been subject to quite a number of songs put into consideration, from Ugly Cry to the funeral song and so on and so forth. It all came down to an online concert that I was fortunate enough to have been able to watch at 5 a.m. in the morning to see the unraveling of the chosen Bulgarian entry for 2021. And it happens to be Growing Up is Getting Old. Now, before anything else, here's a look of the song to be sung by Victoria at the 2021 Eurovision Song Contest.
I'm torn by nervous systems aching. Growing up is getting old. Anxiety is draining. Getting up is
Growing Up is Getting Old is a very soft and gentle and very touching pop ballad that more or less is made from the same mold as Tears Are Getting Sober. But unlike Tears Are Getting Sober, Growing Up is Getting Old feels a little more personal for Victoria, or rather, it sounded more of her than what I was getting from last year's entry. Although I know that Victoria had a hand in the creation of Tears Are Getting Sober, and she has a personal connection to that song. This is the one song that I felt that I can totally hear Victoria. I could totally see Victoria performing this and no other artist. And to be quite honest, I chose not to listen to all of her other songs in her EP. All those songs that were up for consideration as her song for Eurovision, because I don't want to feel biased towards one particular song and to only end up feeling disappointed that a song that I might prefer even might not get chosen, might end up not being chosen as the song Victoria will take to Rotterdam. So it's not much of a loss for me. Victoria's voice is quite soothing to the ear. It's quite pleasant. It reminds me of like listening to a lullaby and a mother trying to woo me into get into falling asleep, but only when I feel most comfortable, because the voice that she possesses is quite rich. It's like there is a world that's waiting to be unlocked if you try to listen to that beautiful voice of hers. It's like it's trying to lure you into this mysterious universe of everything about the unknown. It's quite hard to describe, but that's how I felt when I watched the music video of Growing Up is Getting Old. And of course, being in Bulgarian production, I can't help but notice everything about the production value of the music video. And because I'm a bit familiar with how Bulgarian productions work, I know that Bulgaria, and particularly Sofia, serves as one of the major production hubs in Southeastern Europe. I know one of the shows that I watched last year was shot and made in Bulgaria, which is Pandora, and it so happens that both the music video and the show in its second season share a character actor who is been known to portraying quite interesting characters, particularly with the preference of looking and acting and emanating a very British persona, at least in the way he acts. I don't know the name of the actor, but I will look it up and I will write it down on the screen. I honestly think that the song is a great second effort from Victoria. I don't think there is no other song quite like it, even though there are going to be comparisons from other fans connecting her and fellow competitor Roxanne with artists like Billie Eilish. I would like to believe that there just so happens to be go off the same genre, they're functioning within the same genre, and as fellow actor Alicia Michelle would put it, they are all in this collective of cool pop girls. And yeah, I think there's always room for more of them. It doesn't necessarily have to be a copy of one artist just because they became more internationally known, but regardless, I think there's always room for more within the same genre of this particular type of singers. As I've mentioned earlier, Victoria basically comes into her own. She is her own character, she is her own person. I can certainly sense her being when I listen to the song in its studio version, in its studio cut, and more so visually by way of the music video. So I think that can potentially translate well on the live stage once we get to Rotterdam. And I'm really excited on what the Bulgarian delegation have to allow us to see the magic that they can bring through Growing Up is Getting Old. You know what, guys? I've been very interested about all things Bulgaria, especially this year. 2021 marks 20 years since I first got to know the existence of this very peculiar country from Southeastern Europe, because I remember when I was 10 or 11 years old. I was 11 years old. I was in school. I had a classmate. He came from abroad and he told us about this beautiful country called Bulgaria. Now Bulgaria, that from the name alone, really caught my ear. It really fascinated me. I was asking this classmate of mine everything about what Bulgaria is, what the people are, how the people are, what's the culture. I even looked it up from encyclopedia, from online sources, and from the years since I have been exposed to things Bulgarian in one way or another. From the highs of highs like Dina Dobrev, The Vampire Diaries, Katerina Petrova, and to the lowest of lows like that viral incident where some woman came into the Bulgarian Idol auditions and sang this song, supposedly and allegedly sung by Mariah Carey. And when she hit the chorus, what she was saying was nothing more than Ken Lee, dooby-dooby-doo-doo. Anyway, I think my impression of Bulgaria has more or less improved since that dark point in my life. But I have long recovered from that lowest point in my life, and now I'm more and more impressed of what Bulgaria has to offer, especially in terms of Eurovision. I think my earliest exposure to a Bulgarian Eurovision song was back in 2008. They had an entry that, although I wasn't watching Eurovision that year, it ended up in local radio stations here in the Philippines. And I really loved that song at the time. I was already in college back then, and I was dancing to it. I was listening to my built-in radio station on my phone. So yeah, those were good times. And now, when I started watching the contest, Bulgaria came back near about the same time, and from Boli Genova, and everything that came after her was just pure magic. So I have no doubt that Bulgaria will once again do well in the contest, and maybe this could land them another top 10. We'll never know, but we could only pray for certain that it will do well. It will do more than it should, but maybe it should. Okay, guys. this is it. Those are my thoughts. Let me know yours down in the comments below. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel for more Eurovision content and more. This has been James. Thank you very much for watching. Take care, stay safe, and I'll see you guys later. Do wijdane. Bye-bye. Babush. Paalam.